Hey, I just want to talk about what I learned today from observability and dealing with failure. In general, when you deal with failure, it's very important that you um, anticipate that the failure could happen before it actually happens. Because if you don't let the failure catch you by surprise, um, chances are you will be able to recover from the failure very quickly. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and we get caught by failure by surprise. That has happened to me multiple times. What we do learn is that you want to be able to um, minimize the damage from the failure very quickly. So you want to contain that failure very quickly. In software, you would use feature flags. You turn off the feature flag, and that way the failure could be contained very, very quickly. Now, the other thing that you do after you containize the failure is you want to be able to recover very quickly from the failure. You want to be able to be back on your feet, and you want to be able to start running and working on what you're supposed to do from these failures. Now, from there, you want to be able to analyze why the failure happened so that you can learn from your failures, analyze the root cause, and then from there you can deal with it. Now, the problem from that is if you have multiple instances that happen concurrently, then it's very difficult. You don't want to be pointing fingers at who is responsible for the failure. You do want to analyze how it's related. If in the event that you have a multiple instance occurring failure, then you probably want to have multiple teams to deal with that. So that's some of the things that I've learned with regards to dealing with failure in general. Now, something else that I've learned specifically in the domain of software is we used to have this concept where we release software, we deploy it, and if something goes wrong, we roll back or we roll forward. Nowadays, we decouple deployment from release, where deployment is where we deploy the code to the server, and release is when that feature gets released to the user. So nowadays, we use feature flags where we can just control the damage of the failure by using feature flags. And these feature flags can be so powerful to the point where it's only affecting, it's on user level. So every single user gets controlled by feature flags. So that is a much powerful way of controlling what gets released to the users and what doesn't. So we'll see how this thing turn out. Yeah, we learned a lot. Yeah, we'll see what else comes next.